What's it going on? Now we're recording.
We're on?
Yeah, we're on. Now
We on, baby?
Yeah, we're on. We're on. Stop talking about the stuff we're talking about. Nice. Dude, end of the season. It's the end of the season.
End of the season, yes.
It's over. It's been a great one for me. I can tell you that much.
It's been a good one for me. It's been a good season.
Well, I mean, look, trophies all around except for Arsenal.
Pretty much.
That's what we like to hear.
And City.
And City, but they've got enough. They actually, no one's actually giving them shit.
No.
Like, obviously when they were going bad, everyone's going, oh, well, City's not that good. They're not competing this year. They're not going to win trophies. But at the end of the season, everyone just went, oh, all right.
Hey, they finished top four, or top five. They made the FA Cup final.
Yep.
But, I mean, because this is the first time under Guardiola they haven't won a trophy. What's that, 8 years? 9 years?
They won a trophy in his first year?
I think they won the FA Cup or something.
Okay, could have been. Yeah. If it was Arteta, it'd be like, we won the Community Shield.
It won that 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
We're building something here.
Yeah, dude, if they were building a house in this time, the house would have tripled in value. They just would have sold it. If it was a house in Sydney and they were building it for that long, you just would have sold the land because it would have been worth so much more than actually building the house. You know what I mean? Your investment's wasted.
Nothing. We're getting our Arsenal shit talking out of the way nice and early.
It's going to continue throughout the entire time, man. Because there's nothing more entertaining to me than goddamn Arsenal losing because they're so fucking annoying. Other than Man U, but now it's starting to get like when you pick on the retarded kid, because
you're picking on the little child.
Yeah. We'll tell you, it's like the rich
that
parents.
That is so you.
The rich. It's what I do on the weekends. I just go hang out at parks. And they're like, what's that creep doing over there? Hey, is he just hassling the retarded kids?
Hey, I'm just here to bully.
Yeah.
I'm not here to R. Kelly anyone, all right?
Yeah. I've already pissed in the toilet. All right, this is a great start. All right, we'll jump into some of the gossip, which is fundamentally just transfers now because shit's been going wild.
As of May 30, everybody was able to start
bringing in their players.
And hey, it started off nice and quick.
Yeah,
as we've always said though, like we've said this for ages. Like if you're a big club, you want to get your business done early. You don't want to wait until the last day to get your business done.
Look at Arsenal over the years.
Oh my god.
Dude, it's the truth. The truth's funny.
All right. How about we stay away from? You're not allowed to say Arsenal anymore for the rest of this episode.
No, but we have an update about them. All right, we'll start with some actual gossip before we jump into the transfers. So, our favourite referee.
Who's your favourite referee?
No. You love him too, dude. our favourite homosexual drug-partied referee, David Coots. And this is a Rule 4 from Grace. He's now been spotted delivering packages for Every.
Yeah.
Now, I had to look up what Every was because we don't have it in Australia. But essentially, it's just a package delivery service like
Uber,
a courier
package?
service. No, like a delivery kind of service like FedEx or
Ozpost
or one of those,
Yeah.
So, he got caught in a ring cam delivering packages. Damn, times are tough, dude.
Hey, I mean, you got to pay for your cocaine habits some way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you're not refereeing, and I'm surprised it hasn't picked up by the Saudis yet. I thought that would happen, but man, you got to pay for it somehow. You know what I mean?
Dude, the Saudis don't like his way of life.
That is true, yes.
Nor the drug-fueled parties.
Yeah, he wouldn't suit that life.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I thought there was someone after him. There was some league that was after him. I thought it was the Saudis for some reason.
Dude, probably La Liga.
Maybe it was La Liga.
Literally, Real Madrid just hire him to be their referee.
Maybe it was La Liga, but yeah.
You want to come to Madrid?
Ooh, you want some?
We got it. It's tasty.
You want some little David?
Yeah. Little David.
Go get it. Go get it.
Yeah. He's already blowing his whistle. But look, continuing on some kind of the refereeing and rule changes. So, I don't know if you recall when Julian Alvarez in the Champions League against Real Madrid had the slip and the double touch penalty taken away from him.
Yes. Oh, dude, that was big.
Yeah.
It was massive.
So, look, obviously, it's rung bells throughout the kind of international football community. Now, they've changed the rules. So, from the 1st of July this year, any accidental double touches will have to be retaken. I like it. I think it makes sense because, like, dude, if you're playing in wet weather, you slip over, you get a double touch. It's a harsh way to lose on a penalty shootout.
Yeah. Especially like I think it should be that if it gets saved, or if he misses, that's it. You've done. That's too bad.
You think?
Yeah.
Even if
you slip, that's on you, right? But if you double tap it, if you double tap it and miss, that's it. You've lost it.
Yeah.
But if you double tap it and score, it should be retaken because you're not allowed to do that. Now we were discussing this before, where we were saying like, oh, this probably should have been brought up already. But then you made the point that, bro, how often does this happen?
To double touch and score.
Yeah, double touch and score.
That's really hard to do.
Yeah.
It would literally have to be an accident.
Yeah, exactly.
Or super intentional. You know what I mean? Like they flick it up and then kick it in.
Exactly.
The net.
Yeah.
So it just wouldn't have come up. But still, look, it's a weird rule that hurt obviously Atletico Madrid
because they lost by one pen.
They lost by one pen.
Yeah.
If he'd scored that pen, they could have won.
Yes. Because I think he did score it.
He did score it. Yeah. But then they overturned it because he double touched it and
Correct,
it wasn't a retake.
Yeah.
So they changed the rule.
Yeah.
So look, I mean, I like that they've taken action on it, but still, it doesn't really kind of change the outcome for Julian Alvarez. Does it?
No. But like we said, it's something that should be known, but probably wasn't thought of. Nobody thinks. What are we doing a double tap? You know what I mean? Just go.
Yeah.
Whatever.
They've got enough problems with penalties with the run-ups and the keepers on the line.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but no, look, I like it. I think it's gonna. I bet you it never ever comes up again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
you know,
probably
what I mean?
won't see for 5 more years.
Yeah, exactly right. Then we have this one's kind of heartbreaking, to be honest. Kevin De Bruyne. So he obviously has a mural like most kind of big players in clubs do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Trent had one. Van Dijk's just had a new one put up in Liverpool.
Arsenal's
set piece coach. Fucking losers, dude. But Kevin De Bruyne had obviously like a big mural. He's been a big part of the Manchester City club.
Yep.
Dude, they've taken it down.
That was quick.
Yeah. So he's obviously going to leave, right? It's pretty clear he's going to leave. He's done his time at the club. He's won literally every trophy.
Literally everything.
For the club.
Yep.
And won a treble, which Man City, before obviously being bought out by infinite wealth, oil, Saudi, trillionaires, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Won everything, and I think he's like an immortal not only to the club, but to the Premier League.
Well, he's done things that, like, he broke how many records? Like, they won 4 Premier Leagues in a row. That hadn't been done before. He broke the assist record, I think, as well. You know what I mean? Like, what the guy's done for the game is unbelievable. So, for them to take that down so quick. Look, if he was going to go play for another Premier League team, I would see that. Maybe not as quick as they've done it, but once it was signed up. But for them to take it down when he's probably going to go to Napoli,
that's what I mean.
It's a bit disrespectful to just throw it away. Throw that away so quickly after.
What are you replacing it with? That's the question, right? Because like the whole thing is you take down the mural to replace it with something else.
Be Haaland.
What has Haaland really done over Kevin De Bruyne?
Not over Kevin De Bruyne, but
that's what I mean. I'm not saying like Haaland's done nothing.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's won the Golden
I was waiting
Boot.
for you to finish that sentence because when you said what's he done, I was like, come on, bro. Broke the goal scorer record in his first year, won the treble in his first year.
Yeah, but I think they cheated.
No, they didn't. Yeah. No, James. Not everybody that isn't Liverpool is a cheater. All right. Yeah, this guy.
I don't know about that.
This guy.
But yeah, no, I find it pretty harsh, man.
Yeah, I do find it harsh.
I don't
for
think.
Sure.
I mean, obviously we took Trent down.
That was totally different.
But that's a boyhood. Like that's more of an emotional response to something. I don't understand what the emotional response is for Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, I don't know
you
why.
Know what I mean?
It feels like they're so butthurt. For
he
no
wasn't
reason.
Getting played this season, right? Regularly.
He was injured for a majority of it.
Yeah, but even when he came back, he still wasn't starting.
Yeah,
right?
He's still on the bench.
Like he was on the bench. He was coming off the bench, still winning him points when he comes off the bench.
Yeah.
And then they've taken down his mural. He'll leave Manchester. I'm sure. He should get some form of. I think. Look, they are giving him a statue.
He's getting a statue.
Maybe
that's weird. Maybe it's an upgrade. Take down the mural, get a statue.
All right. I mean, if you're going to play it like that, sure.
Yeah.
But I thought
we'll find the positive side of things.
Yeah. Now here's a fun one. Let's jump into Man U. So,
yeah, why not?
As we know, Garnacho's the most unhappy guy at Man United,
hating life
out of every team.
Yeah.
He's essentially just gone and buried his career at Man U with just one Instagram story. So, as you know, like Man U's finished the season. Instantly, all the players have flown over to China or to Asia and they're doing an Asian tour. Yes. Which is obviously generate money for the club.
Correct, yeah.
Because they're paying some of these guys $350,000 a week.
Mm-hmm. It was nearly 500.
Oh, fuck, imagine. Imagine it was 500.
Right.
I think if they won it, they might have been more fucked than they're already going to be.
Yeah.
And so Garnacho's posted to his Instagram as they land in, I think it was China that they were landing in. He just writes, finally, where it's all raining in the background. He writes, finally, with a crying face emoji, prayer hands emoji, and then a beach emoji. Like, please, all I want to do is be on holiday.
Right, he wants to go on holiday so bad.
Well, I mean, this is after he's obviously
Send him to Cancun.
Well, but it's after he's also gone on to he's gone on Instagram and written that, the coach is a moron, essentially, because plays him in 90 minutes on all the games leading up to the final and then plays him 20 minutes in the final. And, they lose.
Yeah.
And he might have a point that he could have changed something, because I do rate him as a player. I think he's a good player, but his attitude's just so wrong.
It stinks. It really, really stinks. I think he's mentally been out of the team since January, when he thought he was going to, maybe go to Chelsea. Yeah. We were thinking about it, but it didn't end up happening.
I think it would have just been another Sancho situation with you guys there.
Yeah, I don't think it would work with him, to be fair. I think you're right. I don't like his attitude. If you're going to be that way at Man U, where you're probably getting paid, he's probably not getting paid great money like the rest of them, but you have the opportunity to get paid well at Man U. And if you're going to act like that because you're not starting in a game, then I wouldn't want him in my team.
What does it show to other clubs, right? Like you say, right? You don't want him in your team for that reason. So you can watch his quality on the pitch. I'm like, cool, he can dribble past people. He can put in a cross. He can score a goal.
Yeah,
right?
he can.
We've seen it. Like, he's got the capability as an attacking player to do everything.
Yeah.
But then you go and look at his attitude. You look at his brother starting up an Instagram page and leaking out starting lineups.
It's crazy.
And you go, is he worth having? I say no.
Yeah.
I don't want him. Like, I wouldn't want him at Liverpool. I want players that want to win, but also players that shut the fuck up.
Players, you want players that show respect to the team that you play with and the club that you play for.
And the manager.
And the manager, for sure,
right?
yeah.
I don't care if you think the manager's doing a bad job. He's the one who's in charge, right? So you got to go in there, listen to what he says. If you disagree with it, too bad.
Tough shit, bro.
Yeah, that's your boss, right?
That's it.
He's going to go in there. Don't just go on Instagram, which is obviously a downfall for a lot of these players.
Oh, bro, social media is such a hindrance to to a lot of these
100%.
players, their careers and their football careers and pretty much their life, some of them.
Yeah. But, no, I mean, good luck to him. That's all I'm going to say.
There was a couple things about Garnacho. I don't know if you saw, but after they played Malaysia, which they lost 1-0, they lost to Malaysia also. They had like 5 A-League players in there. They lost, right? They're all walking off, and Garnacho flipped the bird at one of the reporters, and you're going, you're not helping your case here. Whatever you're trying to do, it is not helping. Yeah. I get it. You want to go. But there are ways of doing things, you know what I mean? Yeah. You can
get your agent to do it.
Yeah.
And just shut up.
Shut the fuck up and play football, right?
Because all you're doing is lowering your next salary. That's correct, all you're doing, right?
You're just making it easier for clubs to say no.
Yeah.
But there is one club that I did see that might be looking at him, and that is actually Kevin De Bruyne's possible new team, Napoli.
Oh,
they are looking at him as a winger.
As we've seen, Man U's good luck, Chuck. I think he's the only one that's not going to go good after it. Because I think it's him doing it to himself. Like Anthony, right? Anthony, as much shit as we talked about him, as much dumb shit that he did, and whatever, it was all on the pitch. He after the game finished, he didn't go on Instagram and start going, everyone's shit, I'm the best.
Yeah.
Fuck everyone. You know what I mean? He would just finish the game, everyone would give him shit, and he just sat there and copped it quietly. Now he's gone across to Betis and killed it for him.
Yeah,
killed it for him, like to the point where they're crowdfunding to keep Anthony at the club.
Well, he's using his football to do the talking.
Yeah.
Whereas Garnacho is using his thumbs to do the talking. And it's not helping him if he wants to get out of Manchester. So obviously there's going to be some big updates on this as to whether he does leave, and if he does leave, where does he go? But I think Italy would be a good shout.
Yeah, I think so too. Now let's start jumping into some of the more kind of concrete transfers.
Transfer time.
So we'll start off with the manager.
Yep.
So Roma, obviously we reported. Well,
Twice.
I did.
Twice.
I got tricked. One, it was Klopp that was going to go to Roma. Then it was Ancelotti was going to go to Roma. But now they've actually sealed the deal, and they've got Gasparini.
Yes.
So it's the old Atalanta manager who's going to go across to Roma. I don't follow much in the Serie A, but Atalanta's always been a tough team. beat us in the goddamn Europa League
Yeah.
that year.
They won the Europa League last year.
Against Bayer Leverkusen.
Yep, that was the only time that Leverkusen lost last year was in that Europa League final, and Atalanta pumped them.
Yeah, really fucking
so
right there, man.
Gasperini has been at Atalanta now for 9 years, I think it's been, and he's turned them from a mid-table team to a consistent top 4 Champions League / European team.
Well, he knows how to win.
He does know how to win. He has a system. He has a system where he gets the whole team playing, right? And he's done that with to get Atalanta from where they were to where they are has been an awesome job. And Roma have the makings. They've got some really, really good players in there. And I think Gasperini there will elevate them into a consistent top 4.
Yeah. Is Abraham still at Roma?
Abraham's still there.
Yeah.
No, Abraham went to AC. He's at AC. But they got there's Dybala there. There's Paredes there, used to play for PSG. They've also got what's his name? Not Desilio. They've got a couple of older Italian internationals, and they've got I think Patricio Rio might be there as well, the old keeper from Wolves. They've got some good and with what was his name? The Leicester manager. The one that won the title, what was his name? Ranieri.
Wow.
Ranieri got them from 16th to 5th.
Yeah.
Right. So they've now got the wind in their sails. They just need to. So they've made Europa League, which is massive for them. Mm-hmm. So now Gasperini can take them, hopefully build on that squad, and then take them into.
He knows how to win Europa League.
Fuck, exactly. You know what I mean? And Roma won the Conference League. I think it was with Jose. I think it was 2-3 years ago. So they know how to win in Europe. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes. But I reckon Roma will do well.
No, I'm all go for him. Hope he wins the Europa League. Then we have I've got 2 betrayals to talk about. These fucking
both for Liverpool, huh?
Yeah, Liverpool betrayers, bro. So the first is Trent, which I've been harping on his betrayal for a while. But
really,
Real Madrid was so keen to get him to leave early so he could play for the Club World Cup, which they're not going to win it anyway.
I'm so shocked as to why they're so keen on winning. I guess it's the money side of things, but
I don't give a fuck. They paid us 10 million euros to get him out early. Yeah. So we made some money off it.
Yeah, you got something out of it.
You know what I mean? Look, it should have been 100, but fuck, I'll take 10.
You got something.
We got something. So, take that 10 million, use it for some goddamn wages or whatever the hell, put it on the parade. I don't care. But at least we made some money out of him.
Yep.
And then the other one, Pep Linders. So Pep Linders was Klopp's assistant coach throughout the years when he had him. Now, there's multiple interviews with him. One, who the fuck cares about this guy? Why they interviewing him? But in the interviews, he goes, "I'll never play for anyone else. Klopp's my guy. I'll only ever be the assistant to Klopp." Now he's agreed to go join Man City and be Pep's assistant.
I have a question. What was he doing during Klopp's sabbatical?
He was over at
Red Bull. Which one?
Was he at Salzburg? I think he was at Salzburg. They lost fucking every game.
Yeah.
He was terrible.
Because was it another assistant that was in charge and got sacked? Or was it him?
Him.
Oh, that was him.
Pep Linders was at Salzburg.
Oh, that was him. Okay.
And then he got sacked because he couldn't win a game. He lost every game in the Champions League.
Yeah, they got pumped in the Champions League and they weren't doing very well in the league.
They lost. So his first 5 games in charge, he lost every one of them. Or something.
Yeah.
So clearly out of his depth. But you didn't succeed as a manager, so you're like, well, I better go back as number 2 and go to Pep. Yeah. He's a dog.
Yeah.
No, he's
a dog. Look, the man's got to eat. You know what I mean?
Well, go in another club. Don't go to Man City.
Hey, Man City come calling, bro, you take it.
Dude, he can take a dick. Fuck him. You can't come out and say all these things. He's a Trent. He's Trent 2. Trent 2, the electric boogaloo. That's all I'm calling him, bro.
You can take a dick.
Anyway.
Look, I hope he does average because I want us to beat Man City next year.
Yeah, 100%.
Hopefully he's the bad luck for them.
Well, we're going to start going through some of their transfers. I think they're going to be stacked next year.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem, bro. They're going to be a problem.
Anyway, let's get on to some better news for Liverpool. So, obviously, we've signed one player already to replace Trent.
Frimpong.
So, Frimpong's come in. Pretty happy with that signing.
I do like the deal you did. I think it was 35 mil paid evenly over 3 years. So, you're paying about 12 mil a year. It's not bad.
That's not bad because we just got 10.
Yes, so that's 1 year covered.
Yes, we only need 2 mil. Look, no, I like his stats. I love the stat that's come out. It's just Alexander-Arnold got dribbled past 13 times against Man City this season.
Just Man City.
Just Man City in one game. They go, Jeremy Frimpong was dribbled past 13 times the entire season.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, well, that's a great stat.
That's a good start.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
a
Obviously-
great start. He's better defensively.
Better defensively, yeah.
Also had a better goal and assist record than Trent this season. Trent was injured for portions and he wasn't injured
Oh,
at
you're
all.
talking about like overall?
Overall in the season,
the
season, he had a better goal and assist ratio. So I'm super happy with that signing, but the big news is coming out now that Florian Rietz, who's also from Leverkusen,
Yes.
right, and is long-term friends with Frimpong,
Yep.
has agreed personal terms to join Liverpool. So we're now negotiating with Bayer Leverkusen, and look, it's all over the news that this guy's coming. I see him as generation talent. I've always wanted him to be at the club. I've been hassling our mate Sam with goddamn videos on this kid for the last 3 years. So I think he's got to be one of the best kind of number 10s that's been producing him. Him and Musiala, right? Those two, for the Germans, I think are two of the best number 10s. Now, obviously, it's up to us to now try and secure it with Bayer Leverkusen, which is not going to be cheap.
Which is turning out to be a lot harder than I think a lot of your fans probably expected.
Well, yeah. So we've been burnt in the past, clearly. So we had the Jude Bellingham hope that we didn't get. We didn't get him.
The Mbappe one.
The Mbappe hope. We didn't get him.
The Caicedo hope. You guys-
Caicedo. We've been burnt by that too.
Yep. There's been some good ones.
I think this is a different situation in it, in which the player himself has said, "I want to join."
Yes.
He's want to join.
Those other three.
Caicedo, we were trying to take him away from you because you weren't able to get the deal done. We're just going to jump in and pay it. And then Caicedo's like, I'm not going to come.
Yeah. And then we just went so over the top with the bid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas Mbappe and Bellingham, I think they always had their eye.
Well, they were just silent, right? They never said anything.
They always had their eye on Madrid.
Yeah.
Like, let's be
And
real, yeah.
I mean, also, there was a whole, there's a lot of rumors going around. They're going, oh, you know how people put out the fake news. So in the fake news, essentially, they were saying, well, Rich will only come if he can wear the number 10.
I saw that, yes.
But McAllister obviously wears our 10.
Correct, yes.
And then they're going to say, like, well, he won't come unless there's all these demands, blah, blah, blah. And then everyone's speculating, and they go, well, I think McAllister would just give up the 10 if he really wanted the 10. Florian Rich came out on his Instagram and wrote, don't believe everything that's in the news. That's completely untrue.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. So it does sound like he's keen to come.
Yeah.
But and he's also putting it out there saying, no, that's not the case. It's literally just us trying to get a deal done with Leverkusen. So we've had 2 bids rejected.
So one was 100.
105 plus
105,
add-ons.
yep.
And then we've gone 130, including add-on, with additional add-ons, but some of the, we've reduced the add-ons and increased it to 130 up front. I think it's spread out over some years.
Yep.
But they're like, no, we want 150. I'm fairly sure if you're getting to 130, we're going to get to 150. I mean, I'm saying that so lightly.
Yeah.
Like
It's
20
just
million.
20 million euros.
Yeah. But once you start to get to the 130, you're like, oh, fuck.
Look, it could play into that 20 mil could play into your FFP. It could play into your other signings that you're looking into. You know what I mean? Maybe you only budgeted at 120 for Witz. You know what I mean? Yeah,
it's true.
Because look, this would be my point. Is that, like, if you were there, right, and you say generational talent, that'd be worth 150, right? It's just whether the Liverpool board think.
Well, it's how does it affect? Because obviously you need a lot more than just one player, right? So we're and that goes to my next point. So our other one is we've agreed personal terms with Milos Kerkez.
Yes,
from Bournemouth, who's been fantastic this season.
He was probably the best left back.
Well,
in the game.
Was him and Robinson were rated the 2 best.
Yeah. And I would have Kerkez over Robinson.
I would too. I think he was more consistent.
Yeah,
Whereas Robinson had games where he was up and down.
Robinson's year was like Fulham's year.
Yeah.
It was very up and down, very, very like middle of the road, whoever
Had these
whoever
games
they
which
played.
were amazing, and then also had these games where you're like, dude, it's Southampton.
It was just typical Fulham, right? Whereas Bournemouth, I think even when they were playing well, Kerkez was playing really well. Even when they were dropping off, they didn't win for like 2 months. Kerkez was still playing well.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm happy with his consistency. So whether or not that 20 million comes and starts affecting that Kerkez deal and what they need to do there, is probably part of it.
Yeah.
I've got hope that we're going to get both. Right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And to be fair, I will have a very big rant if it doesn't happen now because I've got my hopes up. But I think if we get both those guys, we're a dangerous team next year.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But the one thing that obviously goes against you guys is the business that both teams have already done, right? So Leverkusen have already lost. They're right back to you guys, okay? So now they're like, well, we've already got this influx of money coming in. Do we need to sell Wirtz? And obviously now with Erik ten Hag there,
Wirtz has said he wants to leave.
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
had an
no,
agreement with them to let him leave.
Yeah.
So I think it's slightly different, but I think it's Leverkusen going, we want the money.
We want the money, yeah.
Yeah, but there's also rumours that they want one of our players.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there's a rumour that they may want Kwanzaa as a part of the deal.
Oh, easy.
So 130 plus Kwanzaa.
That's easy.
Kwanzaa's worth 50 mil, but.
Oh, 130 plus Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That's the problem. Like, it's like they're
That's a
trying to.
lot.
Yeah, so
That's a
I think
lot.
that's where we're getting stuck, right? That there's so many elements in the deal, how they want to structure it.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure there's like how much you want to pay over how much time,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean.
plus
It's
add-ons.
plus add-ons. Yeah, it'd be out of control.
It's not an easy kind of deal to structure.
Well, for someone like this, it wouldn't be because, like you said, this guy is highly rated.
Yeah.
They obviously have a lot of intention. Have a lot of backing in thinking how good this kid is, and you guys think he's really good because you're willing to go up to 130 already.
Yeah.
So, but with the Kirkes one, that one I think is going to be a lot harder, right? Reason why is because Bournemouth already lost Huijsen.
Yeah.
Right now they lost him for 50 mil, which means they've already got pretty much the money that they're used to getting from sales. They don't really need to sell Kirkes, so it's going to be up to you guys to have to persuade them to be like,
Well, they're saying 45 million.
how much have you guys put an offer in?
Well, I don't know. They've just said that we've reached out to Bournemouth.
Okay.
So
now they're talking about
yeah,
it.
so they're talking about one if Bournemouth's going to let him go.
Yep.
For one, which I have a feeling they will. I think they will.
I mean,
But-
Bournemouth still want to compete, right? They don't want to become like a Southampton or like a
With 80 million though, you can go out there and
Oh, look, I'm sure Bournemouth will be able to go out and find some half-decent players that we've never heard of, which will turn out to be great players, you know what I mean? But again,
probably also depends who they've already got, right? They might have a youth player they want to bring in.
Exactly.
Their
Bournemouth-
scouts may be out there finding someone already.
yeah, exactly. Like, they know exactly what they're doing. There's a reason why they've been in the EPL now for, 10 years? Something like that. So they know what they're doing. Now, I guess they're just going to be a case of, will they pay what we want? And then when they do, how do they use the money? So let's just see how that one's going. But I'd be more confident on Wirtz than on Kirkes.
Well, I'm just going to be confident.
No,
on
you
both.
just want them both. I know, yeah.
I'm just going to be confident on both. Then we've got jumping out of the EPL for a little bit. It's a player that we love, right? Historic player, Luka Modric,
Legend.
So, obviously, legend of Real Madrid, legend of Tottenham. Even though won nothing, but he's still a legend. there.
Probably the greatest Croatian player ever.
Agreed. Yeah, 100%. Is going to be joining AC Milan. That's rumoured. Hasn't happened yet, but I think given the links and like who's dropping it, I think it's pretty strong that he may go to AC Milan. I think it'd be great there.
Could you imagine seeing Kevin De Bruyne and Luka Modric playing in Serie A? How good would that be?
That'd be a nice midfield battle.
Yeah. This one would be, I think I've read somewhere that AC are offering him a 1-year deal with the option of a year in his favour.
Yeah.
So he can get 2 years. They are going to lose Reinders, which we will get into very soon. So there is that midfield spot open.
Yeah,
And
I
think
he makes
that,
perfect sense as a fill-in for 1 year.
Yeah.
You know what I
straight
mean?
out.
Like if you just want him for a year, give him an extension for 1 more year. Then what? Because what is he? 36.
39.
He's 39.
Yeah. Bro, he's
Damn,
old,
dude.
bro. He's been playing for.
Yeah,
I know.
that's fair.
He's been playing for ages.
Good. He can go to AC. All he's got to do is play the Pirlo role.
Yeah, that's
right?
it.
He's got to sit there and he's just got to execute passes, almost like how Tony Cruz did at the end of the career with Real Madrid. He just got the ball inside, couple of turns in and out, play the ball out wide, just change the flow and control of the game. That's all he's got to do there.
Yeah, exactly. I think Italy will suit him great, and I think as well because AC Milan, I don't think are in Europe, so he just has to play the league games.
Yeah, just get them into Europe. That's it.
And look, he gets to live in Milan. It's pretty fucking good. It's pretty fucking bad. Not bad, right?
Yeah.
But look, I would love to see Luka Modric go to AC. I think it'd be massive for Serie A to get someone of his caliber.
Well, I mean,
into Serie A.
He does have the Pirlo vibes about him.
Fucking oath, yeah.
Like he's got
100%.
those Pirlo vibes. He's just such a technical player.
Just give him the ball, he'll pass it around, and then he'll ping it wherever you want.
Yeah.
He just needs the players with him. So, look, hopefully they get that deal done because that'd be nice. If not, I think he'll probably retire.
Yeah, it makes sense. Or go over to. Did he come from go to a Croatian team?
He go to a Croatian club.
Play in a
Or he
Croatian
could go
team.
Saudi Arabia if they want to pay him
Pay him a
something.
fortune.
Yeah.
Now let's jump into some Man City's transfers.
Uh-huh.
And they're obviously already in the market with. I heard this on Mark Goldbridge's podcast, but essentially, how the fuck are these guys still buying players while they haven't even had a court decision on their 115 charges? I don't understand what the Premier League's just going, sure.
Yeah, they're just going, yeah, it's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
It's funny how
There's no
Leon.
bans,
it's
there's
funny
no-
how Leon. So, like Leon had a ban, right, for about a day, and then they lifted it.
Yeah.
After they paid, which was like a $3,000 agent fee.
Yeah.
They were going to ban it for 18 months from transfers.
Yeah.
These cunts have 115 charges, and they're just going, yeah, fuck, we'll just buy this guy. Like, what about that trial that you're in the middle of? Is that not going to affect
I
anything?
don't understand how they're just allowed to do this, right? So they're in the market now for Ryan Cherky, who obviously was hitting the news when Leon had all their troubles.
Yes.
And they were going to get relegated because of it. Under his contract, he could have gone real cheap. So I know that we were in for him at a stage. Man City was in for him. And fundamentally, every club that needed a midfielder was in for him.
Yep.
Because he's a fantastic player. I think he's 22, 23, and bangs in goals. I think he had 13 goals and like 6
He was
assists.
he was highly touted to go to a big club. I think you guys are in for him, but I just don't think it was the right time at that time for him to leave France. But now it's time for him to leave, and yeah,
So
looks like he's going to Man City.
Well, he's in the same situation as Wirtz, right? He's agreed personal terms. Man City are now just trying to execute the deal with Leon. So we'll see. I think this week we're going to get updates on that.
Yeah, for sure.
Man City move quick.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, they've had an agreement to sign Tijani Rendirs, like we just said, from AC Milan.
Yes.
For 70 million, including add-ons. That's a fucking fantastic price.
It's a good deal. Reindeers was when AC were going really well, he was involved in everything. They kind of dropped off at the back end of the year. That's why they didn't make Europe. But now he's going to Man City. He'll pretty much replace De Bruyne, or he'll be along that Rodri. Bro, their midfield is absolutely stacked. I don't know how they're going to play all these players.
If they get Cherky, if they get Rendirs, and then they'll have Rodri, that's a fucking supreme
Plus
midfield.
those guys they already got this year. They had that Nico Gonzalez
So
come
Nico
in.
Gonzalez, who's going to replace, who's there as the backup for Rodri.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To be fair, he wasn't that great.
It was pretty good, but he's still young. He's only like 19, 20.
Yeah, so look,
The team's going to be stacked.
Does anyone remember Pep 2 weeks ago going, I don't want a big squad?
He's full of shit.
Yeah.
He's so full of shit.
He's full of shit. They're signing these two. They're rumored to be signing like 4 other players.
Yeah, he's full of shit.
It's full of shit, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking Man City. But then, here's an interesting one you brought up this week. Ronaldo
The GOAT.
may leave Saudi. Well, Al Nassr.
Al Nassr.
Sorry, not Saudi. Al
no.
Nassr.
Yeah. So Ronaldo put out a Instagram post, and it was something along the lines of chapter over, story not over, something along those lines. Pretty much saying that this chapter of his career is over.
Yeah.
And he's
Well,
looking
it's
but
pretty
he's
cryptic.
going to continue his story. And the way things are going, it looks like, because Al Nassr aren't in Asian Champions League next year. They actually dropped out in the last game.
Well, I mean, because that's interesting, right? It was Bobby Firmino's team that won the Asian Champions League this year.
Yes. There
Yeah.
was Bobby Firmino. There was Mendy. There was, for the old Chelsea keeper,
Yeah.
there was Mahrez, the old Man City winger. They had a stacked on the play,
team.
bro. It's a mad team.
Yeah.
But I think, is that the one Ivan Toney might play for?
I'm not sure. I
Yeah.
can imagine it would be.
Yeah, it could be,
Saudis just
right.
stacked their teams.
So now, because they didn't make Champions League next year, he's looking at leaving. And the one team he's looking at is Al Hilal, which is
Is that Benzema?
no, that's Al Ittihad. Al Hilal was the team that Neymar played 4 games for.
It got paid like $200 million.
Yeah.
It's so insane.
I think at the moment, Mitrovic is their striker. Now, there is rumours he might be going to Man U, but at the moment, they're the closest link for Ronaldo, if he is to leave, is to go to Al Hilal. So that'd be big signing for them if he goes there, because they got a really good team.
No,
They've got like
dude,
they got like
I mean,
Milinkovic Savic. They've got
they just went out and got all these older
bro.
players.
They got like
hey.
Koulibaly, I think. They're
They did what China tried to do.
exactly. That's
except
exactly what they tried
They've
to
got more
do.
money so they can actually do it.
Exactly right. China tried that, but that was all funded by the government.
Yeah.
That's why they had to stop it. Whereas, João Cancelo plays there as well, actually.
Jesus.
Ruben Neves plays there. Malcolm plays there. Milinkovic, Savic, and Koulibaly. So they've got some good players there.
Pretty stacked team.
Right, it's a pretty good team, right? Now that Neymar's gone, they don't really have that superstar. So now they're looking to see if they can get Ronaldo in.
It makes sense. He does bring eyes to the game, and you could see that there was like 5. I love all the videos of him like playing, and there's just like 100 people in the crowd.
Oh, that was bad.
Yeah, dude. So I mean, look, good for Ronaldo.
Yeah,
he's gonna make some more money.
Let's see how he goes.
Yeah.
But look, obviously he's trying to reach his goal of 1,000 goals.
Yeah.
Plus he wants to stay fit for the World Cup next year.
What would that make? 5 World Cups he's played in?
It's probably 6.
6?
Probably 6. Or he's in 06, 6, 10, 14. No, 7. It was in 2006, 10, 14, 18, 22, just past 26. No, 6.
Yeah, 6.
6 World Cups.
24 years of World Cups. That's insane. That's fucking insane, dude. So, anyway, continue on with the transfers.
Yep,
so
still got a few more to go.
So, Arsenal. Oh, God. If they don't sign a striker, and it does sound like they're actually actively trying to get one.
And they're trying to get one nice and early. Not wait until the last fucking minute.
But the thing is, dude, they say no, bro. So someone will go to them and go, it's 100 million. They're like, 60. And then they're like, no, we're not going to do that. They go, we'll move on to the next target. And then by that time, it's so late, we can't. So anyway, they've initiated talks with Benjamin Sesko from Leipzig.
Yep.
Now, I rate this guy. I think him and Xavi Simons at that team linked up really well. Mm-hmm. He's like 6'4" or something like that.
He's a big boy, yeah.
He's a tall guy, but he's not Peter Crouch-esque where he's all lanky and
he's like
on the ball.
He'd be like a Drogba type of like height.
Yeah.
Right? But bigger.
But bigger, he's athletic.
And he's 22.
Yeah.
So
dude, I think he's a great buy if they can get him. He makes sense for Arsenal too. He seems like an Arsenal striker where they can whip balls into him, but he's also got the ability at his feet, right? Because I think that's where Kai Havertz, you couldn't whip a ball into Kai Havertz. Right?
Kai Havertz you can cross to. He's great in the air, but in terms of feeding him to his feet, not what you'd want.
Yeah, he's not ideal.
That's why he'd be a great number 10, but anyway, it doesn't matter. What I'm interested in is why, now this kind of goes around the world, but mostly Arsenal, why aren't they going for Gyökeres?
Gyökeres,
whatever, yeah. Because
I think he is an overhyped mid-team player, bro.
Okay.
Even
though he scored like 60 goals.
Bro, Darwin Núñez was scoring for fun in the Portuguese league.
Yeah,
that's
but not 60 goals.
No, that's fair. He can clearly score a goal.
Yeah.
Right? But he had 2 stints in England.
He did.
They were in lower teams, lower
one
leagues.
was Brighton. He only got about 3 games at Brighton. So it wasn't fair to put him on.
I mean,
the other one was Coventry, where he was there for about 2 years and he didn't really do much.
That's what I mean. So it's like he's had the view in the English league. Can he handle the English game? That's the difference. Because it's like if you're in those lesser teams and you can't get on the pitch. And look, it has happened before. Players develop, and Kevin De Bruyne is a good example for it.
Salah was at Chelsea, didn't get a go, went to Italy.
That's more that he had bigger players in front of him, though. He wasn't at a less team.
No, that's true. He was at a bigger team and couldn't break in. Same with De Bruyne.
De Bruyne, right?
Yeah,
Same thing. Everyone could say he was talented. But...
No, for sure. Everybody saw the talent, which is different to Gyökeres, who actually had a shot and failed. But maybe it was just a case of he needed a bit of experience. Went into a league where he was comfortable in. Went into a team that helped him, actually supported him, and look, he ended up scoring 60 goals. I just find it weird that someone like Arsenal would be going for him. Now, whether that's a money thing because he's valued at like over 100, whereas Sesko's only valued, I think, about 60.
No. Opposite way around.
Is it?
Bro, they're valuing Sesko at 100, and Gyökeres apparently deal can get done for 60.
That is so weird. I saw it the other way.
Dude, check it up. Because I was checking it out today because I'm like, because I wanted at one stage when we were going through the season when everyone was rumoring Ishak to come to us. I don't know if I want, like, I know Ishak's obviously a great...
Because he's been valued at like, what, 150?
At 150 mil, I'm like, would I pay 150 mil for Ishak? I don't think so.
Yeah, look. Gyökeres is valued more.
Dude, look it up on... Oh, no, yeah, all right.
Sorry, just so everybody knows, just on the thing I'm on, it says Gyökeres 128, Sesko 105.
What's that, transfer market?
No, that's on that football app I got.
Oh, okay.
Football. But where should I look up?
I know. I was looking at it like One Football, they had it, or look at Goal. Goal will have articles on it.
Yeah.
Just to see, because like I saw in there, they're valuing Sesko at like 100 million to buy him out. I think it might have something to do with contracts as well.
Yeah, right.
Longer
okay.
contracts.
Right.
But and also like he's 22. I think Gurk as well. He's
26. 26, yeah.
So
like Gurka's in like his prime. So that's like this is the time you want to get someone like that.
I agree.
If they're firing.
I mean, for Arsenal, I think they just need to bring in a dedicated striker.
Yeah, for sure. Hard.
You know, like
hard. That should be number one priority.
Well, it's the only player that they need in that squad immediately that would make a difference.
Okay, so Gurkes is valued at 75, like you said, but his release clause is 100 million, like I said.
Oh, right.
That's what I saw. Yeah.
There you go. I don't think there's a release clause on Sesko.
No, there wouldn't. Let me have a look. Sesko. So Sesko, he's 90, 92.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it's big money.
There's big money being thrown around.
But again, if they haven't spent big money in how long? They've gotten away with it.
No. Declan Rice. Spent 100 mil on him.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Declan Rice. To be fair, he was their best player this season.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
for sure.
by far,
Worth
too.
Worth it.
They keep talking about Odegaard. I think he's crap.
No, he faded this year.
Bro,
Declan Rice took over this year.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So anyway, look, we'll see what striker they end up with. And if it's none...
Oh, bro, if it's none,
so
literally just
hard.
give up on that club, eh?
Yeah. And then we jump into Chelsea. You boys have been in the market.
Getting our deals done nice and quick, yeah.
Well, that's what you want.
Yep.
That's what I mean. Look, fuck, you guys are doing deals every week anyway.
Here we are.
Doesn't matter. Like
We're doing deals outside of the transfer window for like 18 months ahead.
Yeah, you're like, do you have a club? Like you're going down to local parks and like it's just like some little kid down there playing. You're like, hey, you play for anyone? You got a contract anywhere? You've just moved here from Nigeria, you say. Perfect.
Anyway. Hey, don't talk about our the way that we do deals. We're doing all right. Look, we got a good one in.
Hey, look, no, Liam Delap. I don't mind Liam Delap.
They're kind of. I've read a couple articles where they're trying to compare him to like Diego Costa.
Okay.
That same aggressive striker, which we haven't had since Diego Costa. Now, whether he performs
I think
like
he's better than Nicholas Jackson, to be fair.
They're two different strikers. Jackson pressures a lot, like in defense. So I think defensively he'd be better.
I don't know.
In attack, Delap knows how to finish. Delap is aggressive.
He knows where to be as a striker.
And he's aggressive.
I think Nicholas Jackson's positional play is not great.
Not great, no.
I think Cole Palmer made him look a lot better than what he is.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Cole Palmer found him instead of him finding Cole Palmer. You know what I mean? Like instead of him getting into the right position, Cole Palmer's like, I'll just play a really fucking hard ball to you and then get it.
Look, I think we signed for 30 mil.
It's perfect fee. Like I think you guys have really nailed the actual transfer fees. And your wage structure is good too, to be fair.
We have really fixed up our wage structure. We're not paying like, I think Ben Chilwell is now our most expensive player.
Or Reece James.
Reece James is up there, but I think Ben Chilwell is actually more than him because we had to buy him from Leicester. Yeah. So I think he's our highest earner at the moment. And once he goes, then I think we'll go to like, maybe we'll be lucky to have someone over 200K.
Well, Cole Palmer's 130.
Yeah, he's not on much.
No.
He's on nothing. You know what I mean?
The thing is, you've got to kind of get those big ones out before the renewals come around, right? Because then if he's on 130 at the highest, you're like, all right, well, I could pay him 200, 220, and it's a good increase on his salary.
But to be fair, he's probably worth more. He probably could be earning a lot more.
If he was to go to Man United, they're paying 400.
Yeah, exactly.
Tomorrow, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then you brought in a guy from Sporting.
Yes, so we signed this new kid, Esugo, from Sporting for 22 mil. Look, I don't really know too much about him. As CDM is what I saw. I don't think he stays this year. I reckon we'll get loaned out. I think we're starting to.
How many players you got on loan?
20, something like that.
Isn't there a limit to it, though?
Nope. No.
They'll change that rule next year.
They are going to change that rule because everybody hates on Chelsea, bro. We find our way around FFP, around your stupid rules, and we keep getting away with it. And then someone argues and complains. They go, "Oh, they can't do that."
Because you're a goddamn charlatan.
Huh?
Because you're a goddamn charlatan. That's why.
Dude, you sound like a charlatan right now.
You're a snake oil salesman. That's what you are. You've got all the cures. Fuck you.
But look. The other one which I am interested in is we're in for another striker. The Leverkusen striker.
Sesko?
Not Sesko, no, Leverkusen.
Oh,
Nikite? Something like that, yeah. So we're now looking at him.
We are, because apparently we're also looking at him.
You guys could do with a striker as well.
100%, but we got to remember, like, I think a lot of players are going out. That's what hasn't happened yet.
No, for sure. Yeah.
So we're looking at him too. So I've been looking up some of obviously his stats and whatever. Now I think he got like 15 goals in the season.
Yep.
It did okay for a 22-year-old.
Did okay. Yeah.
No, it didn't do. It wasn't golden boot or anything like that. Two problems I have with it. One, they're trying to ask for 100 million. It's like everyone's favorite number is 100 million now.
Oh, just make a nice round even
and I'm
number.
like, when did the German league get so ballsy with 100 million? So like normally you go to the German league get a deal.
Yeah.
Or the French league. Now they all want 100 million.
Yeah, 100 million is the thing, bro.
But he's actually the biggest deficit on his XG out of any striker in the world. So his expected goals for the season were like 22.2 or whatever. Because he only got the 15, so he had like a -7 on his XG.
Yeah, right.
So if they're going, okay, you're the main guy, you started a game, what we would have expected you to have scored 22, he scored 15.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
and I've seen some of the goals he scored. Like they're nice. They're all touches. He goes around a defender, gets a good tap in, stuff like that. But it's, I don't know. I'm not for 100 million. I'm not sold on him.
Ekitike. Oh, sorry, it's not Leverkusen. It was
Frankfurt.
Yeah, Frankfurt. Sorry.
Yeah, he came from where Marmoush came from.
Yeah. Frankfurt. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, that's another one that we're in for. Apparently, we might be in for Mike Malignan, the AC Milan keeper.
Yeah,
that's another one that we might be in for.
9 keepers.
Yeah. Oh, bro, we've got to sell at least 4 of them. But yeah,
it's crazy. We're just going to sell 4. You know what it's like? It's like Todd Bowley has Football Manager.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, 100% has Football
and he's
Manager.
Like, buy out by billionaire. He's like, oh man, I have so much money. I'm going to bring them all in.
But look, we're not going to be quiet in this transfer window. No. We're now in Champions
League. When are you
ever? It's been a long time. Oh, I know when we had the transfer ban.
The only way for them to not transfer people
is to actually ban them,
really
just freeze their accounts. Like you can't spend.
You're
not
like
allowed.
A heroin addict going back home to get money.
Yes.
Please, I need some money. Mum's just like, oh, damn it,
I need to spend.
Yeah. No, but I think everyone's in this season for.
Well, we've got 6 teams in the Champions League. I see all 6 teams.
Yeah.
Plus, you got like the other teams that are trying to get up. So yeah, it'll be very interesting.
Well, look, before we actually jump into some actual football, last team, Man U. They're in the market. Hey, to be fair, I think they're spending okay.
I am not loving, but I'm really liking the signing so far.
Well, okay, they're going. So it is funny. So Roy Keane was coming out and they're going, "What do you think Man U needs?" And he goes, obviously in his style, he says the right thing, but he says it in the wrong way. You know what I mean? So he goes, because they need true like Premier League players.
Yeah,
people that know how to play in the Premier League. Because they need men.
Yeah, yeah. No, he's right.
Like he's 100% correct because they do have boys in the team, right? Yeah. Like you've got Garnacho whinging and crying, Bruno whinging and crying, who's supposed to be their leader. Then you've got 2 kids leading the line. It's unfair to Højlund. It's unfair to Xerxes. Yep. So they've gone out. They've now got Cunha. So Cunha's fundamentally agreed. He's yet to formally sign, but he's agreed terms.
It's really, really close, and I think they're getting for about 62 mil, which I think
fair price for Man U anyway.
That is a fair price. Yeah. Exactly right. Yeah, I think fair is the right word. It's not a great piece of business. Like 60 mil is still a lot. Yeah. It's like what we paid for Neto.
Yeah.
Fair price.
And then they've also gone out and got Brian Mbeumo.
This one I really like.
Well, he's been great this year. Both those players have been great this year.
Both have been great. They were both like, if you think about them on a over the whole season, they were both super consistent.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Because every time they played, it was they or Cunha had his problems more with his behaviour, right? Stealing that bloke's glasses and shit. But Brian Mbeumo, I don't remember a game where he played bad.
No, he was always involved. Yeah. If he wasn't scoring, he was either scoring or assisting, right? And if he wasn't doing that, he was being an absolute fucking menace.
Yeah.
So he's a dangerous player. I really like that signing. How much he goes for, though, is going to be really important.
Yeah.
Because, look, there is the rumour of his salary. Going to be nice.
Well, he's gone from 45, well, the rumour is he's gone from 45,000 to 200.
That's mad.
That's... Okay, look, I don't know how Man U keeps spending this money, but they've got rats. Like, they're like, you got rats in the stadium, and you're like,
fuck.
They're like, all right, should we get rid of the rats? But we could get Brian Mbeumo.
But Mbeumo was 200,000 though.
Yeah. All right, leave the rats.
The rats are fine.
Yeah.
We can deal with the rats later.
Yeah. I mean, look, obviously he's going to take it and go to Man U, Mbeumo. Like, sets you up for life.
Look, but
Money's life changing.
if they play as like say they play like a 3-4-2-1, right? You have Cunha up top, Bruno behind
With Mbembo.
with Mbembo. That's a gun attack.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's a gun attack.
Yeah. Now, if they just had a better defense, it'll be a scoring match with them.
That's it. It'd be if they could work on their defense. And there's also one signing which we haven't spoken about. Emilio Martinez. He's left Villa on a free.
Mm-hmm.
He is open. Apparently, Man U's in for him. Much bigger upgrade from
Makes
Onana.
sense. Because I do love the memes that are coming out on Onana at the moment. Because obviously he plays in the national team with Mbembo.
Oh yes, Nigeria, right?
Yeah. Have you seen where they're taking a free kick and Onana's up out of his goal at the opposite end of the pitch, directing players where to go on the free kick?
Oh really?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, and then just the headline of it is I really hope I don't see this with Man U this season. It's on like a Man U fan page, and I'm there. I'm like, I do hope I see this because Mbembo's just standing there looking at him going. Like, just super confused at one. Why is the goalkeeper out of the box?
Two,
telling players what to do.
Why are you telling me what to do taking a free kick, bro?
Who are you? You can't pass.
Dude, I will put this free kick past you, cunt.
Yeah.
Fucking get back in your goal.
It's ridiculous. He probably did during the season. Look, last bit of kind of Man U business, and pretty good for them and pretty good for Bruno, to be fair. Give him a bit of respect for it. Rejected Saudi.
This one, yeah. So I think Man U were more hoping he would go, but I think they could deal with him staying.
Yeah.
Right now, obviously, I think it was Al Hilal, which is the team that was in
They
for
offered him
Ronaldo.
huge money and a big transfer fee.
100 million, right? Which Man U would have loved. 100 mil. Yeah. So it was 100 mil plus he was going to get paid. I think it was like 700,000 a week. For him to reject it and say no, I want to stay as captain of Man U and play in Europe. Hopefully again, that's ballsy.
I'll give him respect.
I'll give him props.
I'll give him respect. I mean, look, he does still earn over 300 grand.
He earns about 320, I
Something
think,
like
310,
that.
something like
He's
that.
just under
Which I think
Casemiro.
he is getting paid too much than what he should be, but still, he should be one of the top earners at Man U.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess he's going to be there now. I don't because no one else is going to buy him.
Yeah, good for him. Hope he sucks. All right, let's jump in. So we had obviously the final match day. Match day 38 came up. We were even on tipping.
Yep.
At the end of it. Now, what'd you get?
6.
And I also got 6.
So
it looks like we end up even.
So we're even. Yeah. So we ended up even.
Pleasure doing business with you, sir.
Yeah, that was a great one. But look, the good thing is that now we got the hang of it. Next year, we'll do a proper ESPN tipping comp.
100%.
And we'll get everybody in and let's actually see who the better tipster is.
Yeah. But I mean, look, there wasn't too much interesting for match day 38. I think it was more about the battle for 3rd to 7th.
My headline for this is I don't feel like anybody actually wanted to win to make that top 7.
No.
Bro, I stayed up for the Chelsea game, right?
Yeah.
Now,
well, it was important for you guys, right?
We had to win, win. We weren't even allowed to draw because if Aston Villa won, they jumped us.
Yeah.
But when we go through the results, bro, it felt like nobody wanted that Champions League spot. It was actually really confusing.
Well, it wasn't as exciting as everyone thought it was going to be.
No, and we've had some exciting final days.
Yeah.
This was not it.
No, well, I don't think Villa was at the races to want to play.
Bro, they were so out of it.
I think that they were tired.
But, hey, when you got 90 minutes left to make Champions League.
Against Man U as well.
Against Man U. I feel like who just played on Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday to us. So 3 days later they played. Yeah. There is no excuses for you to not wallop them.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It was away and they didn't do it.
No.
They fucked themselves.
They failed in their mission.
And then I think, look, the Chelsea Forest game was probably the biggest game.
That was the biggest game. So I watched it, very tense, very tight. There was like 4 shots in the first half in total. We got our goal, Colwill. It was a bit of a fumble around, but I think it was Neto put in a ball, which I don't know if it was a shot, but it went to Colwill. He put it in, and we just shut up shop after that.
Yeah.
And actually, this was actually one of Chris Wood's worst game I've ever seen him play. He missed 2 sitters, not sitters, but 2 like really good chances, and he was offside about 5 times.
I think, and again, it was just the tired.
That one I understand.
They were tired, right?
Chris Wood, I understand. For sure. But look, we got the job done and we ended up coming 4th, which is where I predicted we would be at the start of the year.
The only other highlight was the overhead kick in the City game.
Well, okay, City had to win. Well, City had to just draw.
Yeah.
But like we said in the last episode, they've never lost to Fulham.
Yeah.
So City did the job. But actually, the other game was Newcastle. Now, this one was really interesting because they were fourth at the start of the day, right? And they lose to Everton at home. They didn't even look like they didn't even deserve to win.
But
Everton deserved to win that game.
This is also my point on Ishak, right?
Yeah.
Like 150 million.
And he flopped.
Well, that's what you got to show up in those games.
I mean, he was injured the week before. I don't know if he still had that injury.
I get that.
But yeah,
But
like
these are the games where you make your name, right? Like you could beat Divock Origi, all right? Just take him. He is not the biggest name in the goddamn world. But why the fuck does everyone know him? Because if you watch his highlight reels, he scores big goals in big games. And that's what he does.
Yeah, he
right?
did.
I would rather a player like that than to pay 150 million for some guy that's a stat machine. You know what I mean? Because you got to show up in the big games.
Yeah. And Newcastle did not. And it was actually funny that they lost and they still made top five.
They got real lucky that Aston Villa and Forest fumbled the bag.
Yeah.
Well, you guys.
The Forest one I don't really blame.
advantage.
Yeah, we had it as much on the line as those two teams. So I think we just performed better.
If they won, they
situation.
jump you guys as well because the goal difference.
Newcastle?
Literally, yeah.
If
They'd won because the goal difference was literally 21-21 after they lost. What was it 4-1 or
No, who? Newcastle.
Newcastle was the score
1-0.
Oh, 1-0. I think 4-1.
No, Tottenham lost 4-1.
Tottenham lost 4-1 to Brighton.
So Villa losing to Man U after that red card. Martinez, I feel so sorry for him.
Dude, what was he doing?
What was Matty Cash doing? Matty Cash just passed the ball to no one. Went straight to Hoyland. Hoyland's like hectic.
Yeah, but why get yourself sent off? That was what I felt like. Why? Because it's not like it was. If it was like the 80th minute, right, and it was near law, and you did that, I'd be like, all right.
I reckon he's come out right. This is just a thought. He's come out. Hoyland's gotten to go around. He already knew it. He's just gone, fuck it, bang,
bang, yeah.
And he's gone, early shower.
Yeah. Season over, baby. Man, you want to sign me?
So I'll be playing here next year. You're brilliant.
So, I mean, look, let's go through what it finished up. So we had Liverpool, obviously, first. Arsenal got bridesmaids once again.
I love that for them.
City finish up third, which after their season and their strings of losses, I think it's pretty good.
They were coming like 15th at one stage. They hadn't won a game in like 9, I think it was. And look at them. They ended up coming third. So well done by City.
And then you got Chelsea coming in at fourth, which is a great result for you guys in the look, all right, you guys spent $1.8 billion to get fourth, but it was good from the position that you guys got stuck in at the start of this year.
Well, look, if we're talking over the whole $1.8 billion, right? That started from 3 years ago. So 3 years ago we came 12th. Well, sorry, 2 years ago.
The progression's there.
Exactly. So
I still don't think Enzo Maresca is your solution.
Not the solution. No, he's not the final product. I don't see him as the final product. I feel like he's good for the younger guys to get. He's got them playing, but I still don't like the way. Like in bigger games, we don't pick up, right? So you do need a big personality in those games. We don't have that. If we don't have the personalities on the pitch, you've got to have it on the sideline, and we don't have it on either, in my opinion. But look, we've gone from 12th to 6th to 4th. So, like we said, the progression's there.
And then Newcastle finished up 5th, so they got the
Who
final.
finished in top 5 even though they lost.
Yeah.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah, because Villa fumbled the bag, right?
Yeah, badly.
Villa's the big disappointment out of this, right? Forest, look, it's annoying for Forest because they were third, right?
Yes,
and they were tracking third pretty much the whole season.
And I think once it got to after the last international break, they just faded.
Yeah, well, the team was tired. I get it.
And it's a thin squad.
Yeah,
so it makes sense.
And he had Hudson-Odoi injured. That hurt him.
That hurt him. Yeah,
because he was coming into form.
Yep.
And then I think you saw Chris Wood was tired.
Sells was copping goals. So you
Sells
can see
went from probably one of the best keepers in the league to having the worst kind of return on his saves numbers.
The last 3 months were just horrible.
He was just copping goals.
Yeah,
making errors.
But still, Forest in Europe for the first time in
they are.
We've 30 years. I think it is.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams in Europe now.
Yes.
So
9 teams in Europe.
It's insane. So like for the Champions League, we've got Liverpool, we've got Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, Newcastle, Tottenham.
Yep, the Europa League champions.
Yeah, love them.
Yep.
Good old Ange.
Good Ange.
I can't believe there's rumours he's going to get sacked.
I think we bring that up at another time.
Well, let's just wait till it's
when they
confirmed.
start, because there is little whispers about it, but if they do,
crazy.
we'll have a good little chat about that.
Then we had the Europa League. We got Aston Villa and Crystal Palace. Villa's spewing.
Villa's spewing because
Villa's
they could have taken that 5th spot with a draw.
They did so well in the Champions League this season.
Yeah, they got
stay
to
in
the
the
quarters.
Champions
They got to
League.
the quarters.
Yeah, and they lost to Arsenal. No,
they lost to
PSG.
PSG.
Yeah,
Yes.
they lost to PSG in the first game, beat them in the second
Yes.
game, lost on
Yes.
aggregate.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So, look, they did so well, to be fair. It looked like they could have even pushed PSG at a stage.
Hey, and all they needed was a draw, and they couldn't even do that.
They couldn't pull it. That's
Yep.
it. Then Crystal Palace making Europa League. I mean, that's great.
How good's that?
That's awesome for
Have
them.
they ever played in Europe? I don't think they have.
No. Well, maybe back in like the 90s or something.
Yeah,
but I
maybe like
don't.
this, yeah.
I've never seen them play in Europe.
I'll have a quick
Yeah,
look.
go and have a look.
Yeah.
And then obviously the final team to make it through was Forest, finishing 7th place, so getting the Conference League. That's good for Forest.
Dude, that's amazing for Forest. Like we said, it's the first time they played.
They have won the European Cup before.
They have twice, I think.
Twice, yeah.
Yeah, I think they have. Palace get their first experience of European football.
It is.
Yeah.
Good for them.
But look, Nottingham Forest, sorry. 30 years out of Europe, back into it. Good for them. You know what I mean? Considering that people probably thought they were a yo-yo club, and now they're in now they're in Europe.
Yeah, 100%. It's all thanks to that Greek billionaire. What a hero.
Yeah, with his fucking iPhone 5 or whatever it is.
Yeah, and he's like stained t-shirts. He actually he gives no fucks.
He's actually a grub, yeah.
He's actually a grub. Yeah. Well, then we had you guys winning the trophy, Conference League final.
Look, at the start of the season, I said if we come top 4 and win a trophy, I'll be really happy. And we came top 4 and we won a trophy. So I'm really happy with the season that we've had. Now, look, we did win the Europa Conference League. We were expected to win it.
Yes.
We did win it, which was good. We won 4-1. Didn't start off too well because Betis actually scored first in the
that was
10
also
minutes.
the rivalry, right? It was the expected final. Well, sorry, it was the expected final.
Yeah, it
when
was,
It came
yeah.
into the semis.
Yep.
Anthony was obviously their hero.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really show up for this game.
No, not really. Didn't really show up at all. To
He
be
had
fair,
PTSD.
yeah.
Chelsea came on. He's like, "Oh no, I remember being back in." He kept looking at his shirt. Oh, okay. Thank God.
But look, they went up 1-0. It was 1-0 at half time. You know, obviously not thinking good things at that stage. But look, our second half we came out and absolutely pumped them. As soon as you know what it was, Cole Palmer, bro, the 2 assists that he got for Enzo and for Jackson were both crisp. His cross to Enzo was on the money, and then the way he ripped his defender for Jackson's was typical Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
So he pulled out in this game. Sancho gets his goal. Actually, we didn't bring this up. Sancho is going back to Man U officially.
I was waiting for you to bring up the Sancho goal, so I could bring it up. To be fair, you guys are paying $5 million to send him back.
Yes, we are. But they gave us 1.5 for Mason Mount making the final, so we only have to give him 3 mil, which is fine with me.
But I just find it crazy that you're like, oh, God damn, take the money. Because you know what he had the ball? He was asking for $300,000 a week.
Nah, bro. That would destroy the
Brother,
new
you
wage
scored
structure.
5 goals.
Yeah, you've done fuck all
Like,
year,
what
bro.
have you done?
Yeah, this year is not the year to be saying, I want more money.
Yeah.
But so clearly it shows that he's more interested in money than in staying in a good project. So that's fine. You know what I mean? We'll make up for that.
He's too old for your squad anyway.
Yeah.
Was he like 25?
He's 23. He's too old.
You guys are Leonardo DiCaprio.
We are Leonardo DiCaprio, yeah. And then Caicedo, our player of the year, Chelsea's player of the year, scores the final goal. So, yeah, it was good. And Cole Palmer got man of the match. And it was nice. It's nice. We are now the only team to win all European trophies. We have now completed Europe.
These guys think they're Thanos now.
We have now Thanos Europe. We've got all the jewels, all the trophies.
The only way for anyone else to get it is to become shit.
No. You just...
How the fuck else are you getting into Conference League? It's like, all right, we've played Champions League the last 10 years in a row. Come 7th.
Yeah, that's right.
We don't want to come 7th. It's like, we need the,
well, you know what?
We need the gemstones.
It's actually Man U's fault for winning the FA Cup last year. That's how we got into the Conference League. So I blame them. But... Look, like I said, we came top 4. We finished with a trophy. I call that a successful season.
Oh, no, I mean, I wouldn't be unhappy with it.
Yeah.
You know, you're just going to have skeptics because you spent $1.8 billion. No one else really has that ability.
Yeah, in 3 years.
You had to sell your women's team.
I'd sell them too.
And then we had Champions League finals last week.
Bruh.
Dude.
Bruh.
I know we had our tips on it. I was PSG. You were Inter.
Yep.
You're wrong.
Yeah, so wrong. Look, we watched this game, and from the first minute, it was just PSG. It was all PSG.
There was at no point did I ever think Inter would cause them problems. I think Donnarumma made 2 saves.
He made 2 saves
the
all
entire game. And Doué, 19 years old, what a freak.
Yeah, destroyed him.
What a freak. Well, he now may have the curse of the Champions League final player of the match. All the players of the matches of the last 6 Champions League finals all went on to do their ACLs.
Yeah, they had bad injuries after.
It was Rodri. Rodri did it. Carvajal did it.
It was Carvajal. Then
Carvajal, Rodri is the last 2.
Who was before that?
Modric.
Was it Modric?
Modric is in there. I don't know if he's in that last 3.
Yeah.
Modric was in there as well. And then there was the Atletico Madrid. No,
for us, it was Kante.
Yes, for you it was Kante.
Us was Kante. Who was before us? Oh, it was Bayern?
Yes.
Coman?
Kimmich?
Was it Kingsley Coman?
Coman.
It was Coman.
Whoever got player of the match.
I think it was Coman. Yeah.
Did the ACL in the next couple of months.
Yeah.
Ooh, sorry. Did the ACL and that's it.
Kante didn't do his ACL, but he was out for fucking so long the year after he won the Champions League.
Yeah.
So they always have a bad run of injuries. Yeah. So knock on wood that doesn't happen with Doué because 19 years old, you want to see him play.
Well, 100%. And to be fair, look, I had an argument. Like, all right, Doué had a great game, got 2 goals. Mm-hmm. For me personally, player of the match, Hakimi.
Oh yeah.
Or Vashkilia. Right?
Yeah.
Because Vashkilia does the shit. They were up 4-0 in the game at one stage.
Do 4?
leave my broken finger alone. So, dude, they're up 4-0 at one point in the game, and Vashkilia makes a run, chasing down...
Oh, the track back?
Yeah, the track back.
Yeah.
Chases him down 80 metres to make a tackle and play the ball. Dude, you're up 4-0. You know how many players just would not do that?
You don't have to do that.
No.
But he didn't
He
care.
felt the need to. It's the same as Hakimi was doing the exact same thing, right? And I'm like, I think those guys were the better players on the day.
Yep.
But obviously, Doué being 19 years old, 2 goals.
In a Champions League final.
Yeah, you're going to give it to the 19-year-old.
There is one player I thought was very, that was really, really, really good that probably didn't get enough plaudits was Vitinha. Bro, he dominated their midfield.
Yep.
Absolutely dominated.
From a guy that Wolves didn't want.
Yeah. They couldn't get the ball off him.
No.
And he was putting in just perfect pass after perfect pass, keeping possession. He kept that PSG team flowing. What a game he had.
Well, for, I think, Doué's second goal?
In the second half?
Yeah. Vitinha picks the ball up in their half.
Yes.
Makes 2 passes out the back. Gets a turnout. Essentially creates the break in the game, breaks it through, passes off, gets the ball back, plays the pass for Doué to get his goal.
No, I think he passed it to Dembele or someone to cut it in for Doué.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right, yeah.
He starts it from his own half.
He started in the middle, went back, passed out the back, went back to get it, passed it out wide again, moved into another space to get it again, passed it out wide to another space to get it, receive it again, and then put it through. And
he dictated the game.
He did not stop running that whole play. That's
he just dictated
unreal.
the entire game. Whatever speed he wanted to move at and wherever he wanted people to move, he moved them. And I'm like, he just complete destruction to Inter. Like I said, there's not even much more to say on it, right?
There is one other thing to bring up, and that would be Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique is now the second manager behind Pep to win a treble with 2 different teams.
Yeah.
He did it with Barca. He's done it with PSG now.
I mean, it's also he brought what other managers with better players were unable to do at PSG. They have an unlimited checkbook, and he didn't need to use it like an unlimited checkbook.
He bought players that would suit the team, not suit the club. Like, oh, we need a superstar.
We need Mbappe. We need Messi.
Neymar.
We need Neymar.
Yeah. Or we need Zlatan. You know what I mean? They didn't go out for those big players. He goes, I need players that are going to work on my team. Yeah. I need Vashkilia. I need Vitinha. I need Neves. I need...
And they did splash cash for Vashkilia.
Doué was 50 mil, right? For like 18-year-old. Crazy money, but still.
Well, he's proven the money worked out.
Dembele, he cost a fair bit of money when he went from Barcelona, right?
But that's also because you know that they're still not players... Like, we were at a stage trying to get Dembele. We just wouldn't pay 50 million for him because of all the injuries. Risk was too high.
Yeah,
they've got the money to take the risk. That's the kind of issue when you play.
They also had Ramos striker, the Portuguese striker, in the background just in case. So they had options in case something happened to Dembele.
Yeah. Well, they just went out, got the players that made sense for them. Hakimi was another one they brought in.
Even that Pacho,
I give respect to Marquinhos. He's been there for, 9 years or something?
13 years.
Was it 13 years? So he's been there for 13 years.
Yep.
And he's finally got them what they wanted after 13, because he was one of their first signings, right?
He was signed in when they first bought out, when the Saudis first bought out PSG. So he would have been there along with like Lavezzi and like those types of players, right? But he stuck around. He's been through so much heartbreak. They played a final already when they lost to Bayern in the COVID year. They've lost massive games. You know, made semi-finals and gotten smoked, and he's stuck around the whole time. He didn't go chasing, stuck around, and now finally paid off for him.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah,
I mean,
that's mad respect.
That's how the best teams win trophies. The players who have to stay around with that to build a team.
You suffer and you go through.
Well, because so many players jump when they have a bad season. They go, "I'm out of here."
Like NBA. Yeah. In the NBA, they do it.
And
heaps,
dude,
right?
those guys end up chasing the trophy their whole life. But obviously, PSG winning their first Champions League, obviously the streets of Paris went crazy.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Yeah.
Yeah, so dude, it's obviously in true Parisian style. A nice celebration turned ultra violent. Like immediately, in which they had 2 deaths, 192 injured, and 559 arrested.
Well, I mean, how do you celebrate?
Oh.
Wait, people don't die at your celebrations?
You know what would be hilarious? New York Knicks fans clashing with the PSG fans.
Dude, if the Knicks made it through to the final and they'd won, they could have a town off.
Yeah.
Paris versus New York.
Yeah.
Which team celebrates better?
It's the hardest. Yeah. The city implodes, bro. It's fuck. And then the other point out of this, so Inzaghi, obviously the manager for Inter,
yes,
has just agreed terms to leave. He's going to Saudi.
I think it's Al Hilal actually.
So he's going to get that bag.
Al Hilal is really picking up in terms of transfers. You know, they're going for Ronaldo, Bruno, and now Inzaghi. So, yeah, look, Inzaghi has had an amazing career in Italy. So, I think his first big job was Lazio. And he took him from middle table to Champions League. Right? They were always competitive. They were always competing, always top 4. Then he left there, go to Inter. He's won them Scudettos. He's won Italian Cups, 2 Champions League finals. Look, he hasn't won them, but he's done a great job.
I mean, go get that bag.
That's it. Now, if he's ready
It also doesn't hurt to leave when there's a giant scandal brewing on Inter.
Yes.
So they've got a whole about an FFP, like them dodging FFP.
Yeah, something. So they were owned. I don't know if they're owned or if they were owned, but they had Asian owners 3-4 years ago. I think they were Chinese owners.
Yeah.
And some dodgy stuff has gone on from that time where they must have fudged some numbers or done something dodgy with their FIFA fair play. We're going to see how that develops, but I mean, Man City's still doing shit with 115 charges, so I don't see why Inter can't.
Look, I mean, I think when a team's that big, Man City's got the money to fight it, I suppose. But here's one that I did forget to drop in. Crystal Palace.
What about them?
They may be in trouble because their owners actually own a large percentage of Lyon as well.
And they're in the Champions League?
No, they're both in the Europa League.
Ooh.
So you can't have 2 owned clubs in the same competition, which is why there was the controversy with James Rodriguez's team, because they were whoever he plays for at the moment have a big ownership in one of the other teams playing in a tournament, so they kicked out James in the Club World Cup.
The Club World Cup, yeah.
They kicked out James Rodriguez's team.
Well, the same thing was going to happen in the Champions League with us and Strasbourg. Now, because we're in Champions League, Strasbourg was pushing for Champions League. We own Strasbourg.
Yeah.
So the thing was going to be whoever finishes higher actually gets to stay. Luckily, Strasbourg ended up coming 7th and they play in the Conference League, so we don't have to worry about that. But, this whole buying other teams and then not being able to play, it's going to come to a head at some stage. It has to.
They're going to have to look at the rule because there's too many. Like, I mean, look at Red Bull, right? They own
Correct.
so many teams.
Yes.
The Man City Group owns so many teams, but they're on different continents.
They do
They've
different
done it smart
continents,
enough.
yeah.
But I imagine at some stage Red Bull's going to clash with each other.
Well-
Salzburg and
City own part of Girona.
they do now, yeah.
Yeah, but I think they still let that happen because they don't own enough of Girona or something like
You've
that.
got to be a majority owner.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
can't be
yeah.
a minority. So you can have 5% of whoever you want, but if you're able to make board decisions, you can't. Because obviously, if you come to face each other,
Yeah, I know. What are
you're
you
like,
going to do?
I make way more money out of these guys making the Champions League. You guys need to lose. We're like, we don't want to lose. It's like, you better fucking lose.
Hey,
Yeah.
majority board member,
I
baby.
will destroy this team. But I mean,
But-
look, I think that's.
It's been a topsy turvy year.
No, it has. Well, it's been a journey, right?
It has been a journey,
Obviously, you know, for me, it's been we're going to win a goddamn quadruple.
No, first it was you were going to make just top 4 because you didn't like your signings. Then it went to
Well, there was no signings.
Yeah, exactly. Then you went to like, oh, we're going to win the league because we're doing so well. Then it was we're going to win everything because we're
Yeah.
so fucking
Yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah.
And then within about a week, it all just ended.
It all just ended. We just won the league, and it felt like we lost. But then I had to sit there and go. But if it was at the start of the season, if you came to me and said we're not going to get any transfers, I'll be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then they went, but we're going to win the league. I'll be like, I'll take it.
Okay, don't sign anyone.
Yeah. I'll be like, yeah, dude, don't do it at all. This
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
Obviously, Man City getting completely destroyed in the year was shocking. But for me, the best bit about that is that that's what Arsenal had been praying for
Yep.
the last 3 years. They got it, and they could do nothing.
Started with an Arsenal rare, ending with an Arsenal.
Oh, my
rare.
bag. That's called fumbling the bag. Fuck with. But yeah, I think going on to this, I think from now on we're going to do what? Like we'll try to do a podcast every 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll just scatter them in.
Some updates on the transfers, but we've got a few kind of new player profiles that we might come out with for some of the new transfers.
Yep.
Highlight videos and such, but we'll start popping them out on YouTube and Instagram.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, until the next pod, man.
Yeah.
Peace
Hey,
out.
let's not forget, we finished same on the tipping, so I'm coming for you next year, bro.
Well, that's it.
I'm laying down the gauntlet now.
To be fair, I really fumbled the bag on that one.
We're up by 9 at one stage.
At one stage, I was up by 9 points. And then in like 1 week, I'm like, I got 1.
Yeah.
And you got like 7. I was
Yeah.
like, fuck.
Yeah, well, that sucks.
Yeah, damn it. And then I went behind and then caught back up.
Yeah, it was.
yeah.
That was a roller coaster of emotions.
I mean, this is what can happen in the EPL. You get too excited putting in the draws.
Go to Bali and fuck up your fantasy.
Fuck, dude. Dude.
That was probably one of my favorite moments. Is you were on such a high. You went to Bali, you were on such a high, and you came back and you're like, oh, real life. My fantasy team sucks. I'm out of all my competitions. Fuck.
Yeah, dude, it was terrible, man. I missed 1 week of changing my team around, and then I panicked. And then during the panic, I might have also been very drunk in Bali.
Yes.
I just used my wild card. I'm like, this team looks sweet, man. It got great points in 1 week. Then I'm like, dude, I'm stuck with all these shit players. Damn it. Damn those panic buys.
But no, good season to start with, and to bigger and better things now.
100%. Well,
All right.
peace out.
Thank you.